Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Happy Hour Live. Cheers. It's our special Halloween show. I've got my cat ears. I've got my skeleton wine glass, and today we're celebrating with a very special guest. We have the Barrow House in Clifton here, and they're going to show us how to make some of their autumnal cocktails. Now, the Barrow House has some of the best cocktails that I have tried in the area. I think their cocktail program is really wonderful. If you haven't been to the Barrow House, you may have been to one of their sister spots, which are Cowan's Public in Nutley, the Vanguard in Harrison, and Franklin Social in Jersey City. But like I said, I've literally never had a bad drink there. So it is my pleasure to bring on Eric Sabalvara. I can't say, you're going to have to say your last name for me. We practiced it before.
You were pretty good, Sabalvaro.
Sabalvaro. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So tell us a little bit about how the Barrow House is doing. I know you guys have a huge tent outdoors if people aren't comfortable with indoor dining. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, we all have times right now, but a great team, from the corporate team to people working at the Barrow House. We're trying our best, trying to, come up with new ideas and try to, make things happen with what we have. So there are two tents in the back that they're pretty decent size. So even with the 6 feet apart, we're able to sit and accommodate a lot of people, plus a 25% capacity indoors. So we're doing great. The bar was the only one that was suffering a little bit because we couldn't seat anybody. Now the bar is open for guests. We are not seating a lot of people because we're trying to always keep our safety first, and we want to keep everyone healthy. So we're sitting about 8 people on the bar. So now that the energy of the bar feels a little better, I see the bartenders a little more excited. As a bartender, you need your crowd. That's the stage. You need your audience. So we finally are able to see people on the bar. So I see the energy, I see the vibe, and I see the bartenders definitely with a better, not just attitude, but energy in general. So it's great. We're doing great. We're doing good. We're still creating a lot of cocktails. We're still, making people very happy, making a lot of people happy through cocktails in general. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you've definitely made me happy through some cocktails. Again, like I said, I love your guys' cocktails. And you're going to make a couple for us today. So tell us about the first cocktail that you're going to show us how to make.
So the first cocktail that we're making is a barreling over. That is starting today, fresh on the menu. And we've been playing with a series of old-fashioned variations that we make in-house with our single barrel bourbons. A single barrel bourbon is pretty much when you go to a specific distillery and you request to get just one barrel for yourself. It's a little selfish, but it's good. So you get around 200 plus bottles. And when you are making bourbon, distillers usually blend different bourbons from different areas of the warehouse in order to get to a specific flavor profile. When you do a single barrel, you get a little bit of a higher proof bourbon, and you also get a unique flavor because you cannot replicate one single barrel. So the flavor that you get out of our single barrel, in this case, we're rolling with the Jeffersons. This particular flavor, you're not going to get it on any other Jeffersons. It's not a blend. It's one barrel, one flavor. So it's potent when it comes to flavoring, and it's also a little bit higher proof, which pretty much translates to a really nice cocktail. So this series that we're going with the old fashions, I'm pretty sure we get some people that live in the area and they've tried it before. The JT Barrow is one example. So JT Barrow was pretty much Bogart's bitters, which is a very old school traditional recipe that they brought back, especially the people from Bitter Truth. It's even as old or older than Angostura bitters, from my understanding, and then a little bit of brown sugar or sugar in the raw, and then 2 ounces of, in that time, we were using a different single barrel. And that was Old Forester bourbon single barrel. So we've done 8 different single barrels with 4 different distilleries. So what I'm making right now is going to be something very similar to the JT barrel, but we call it barreling over, it's more of a seasonal old fashioned because we're using spiced maple syrup. So we're adding a little bit of that fall winter touch to it. So we're gonna start with the bourbon bitters, a couple of dashes, and then we're gonna do 1/4 of an ounce of the spiced maple. So the spiced maple, we make it here, and it's just a bunch of spices. With it has to be organic maple. It has to be the good one.
Gotcha. Don't put your Aunt Jemima in there. That's not gonna work. You need some good spiced maple. You
wanna pay a little extra, but you wanna get the good one because it's definitely gonna show on the cocktail. And then we just go with 2 ounces of our single barrel bourbon. So we're gonna serve that in a rocks glass. In this particular case, we get a fancy rocks glass. Big. So we're just gonna stir over a little bit. It's an old fashioned, and an old fashioned is pretty much 3 ingredients: bitter content, sugar content, and you get your booze. We're in the U.S. Bourbon is really popular around, so our old fashions here in the U.S. most of the time, over 90% of the time, you're gonna get in with bourbon. The second option will be rye whiskey. So I think bourbon is a good option for this old fashioned. Once you mix it with the spiced maple, you get your sugar content, and the Bogart bitters add that specialty, extra touch, and kind of balance it. Now we're gonna garnish it with an orange twist or peel, as well as a lemon twist.
Nice. And I love how simple it is, and I think this is one of the things that I love when I grab a cocktail at the Barrow House is that you can always taste the alcohol. You're not hiding it with any type of syrupy, sweetness. It's just, it pays homage to the liquor, but it also, has a really nice flavor.
It's a great point that you bring over. And the best example you can have on a sweet old fashioned is making the new old fashioned. So there are 2 different old fashions out there, and none of them are wrong, and none of them are the best. They're just different. When you get the real old fashioned or the true old fashioned, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get sugar content, bitter content, and booze. On the classic one is a sugar cube. So we're swapping the sugar cube for something a little more. And on the bitters, you get your classic Angostura bitters. Now, you didn't see any simple syrup in it. You didn't see any mottled fruits in it. Mottled fruits means more sugar on the cocktail. So if you want to add sugar on top of sugar, you're going to get an overly sweet bourbon cocktail. And this cocktail is, if you really look at the simplest way, the old fashioned is a bourbon drink with a little seasoning. So you get a little bit of sugar and a little bit of bitters. And then when you taste it, you are tasting a well-cooked, still bourbon-forward cocktail.
And you definitely don't want to hide it because, like you said, you guys have such great single barrel bourbon. So let's move on to your second cocktail. What are you going to show us next?
All right. The next one we're going to do is going to be called Cabin in the Woods. It's getting a little bit colder out there. So, spiced apple cider, there is no way you can go wrong with it, especially if you add a little tweak and a little twist and a little fun on the alcohol side. We're going to add a little bit of citrus to that. We're also going to add our house-made spiced apple cider. So this is
nice.
Yeah, this is an apple cider concentrate. So we just get our apple cider, and we have a little bit of sugar, and we reduce it a little bit, so it's a little bit thicker and there's a little bit more concentrated flavors on. The little flavor we're gonna do is we're gonna use Rocky's herbal liqueur. It's also called Rocky's milk punch. Nothing to be worried about. It's just another liqueur modifier or mixer on cocktails. Citrus flavor, a little bit of tea, a little bit of pineapple, mango. You get some sugar, you get some citrus. So it's really versatile. It's really good. And I like the little touch of tartness, the tartness that adds to the cocktails. So we add a little bit of that to our spiced apple concentrate.
Nice. And I know some people get worried when they hear milk punch. They think it's going to be something really creamy, but one of my favorite drinks of yours is the watermelon milk punch, and it's just refreshing, and there's it's not like a milky cocktail.
Yeah, no, when any milk punch that you get, if it's properly made, it is pretty much when you combine citrus and milk, you're pretty much curdling the whole mixture, and all the lactose and all the weight of pretty much the real milk, it would stay on the strainer. When you filter it open, you're gonna get clear liquid like this. So out of this product, there's a lot of cloudy the liquids that they were all mixed together, and then it was turned into a milk punch. So it's just milk punch is a clarifying process, like if you use activated charcoal. So no one should be worried about that. And there is so minimal amount of lactose in it that even someone that is lactose intolerant, they'll be able to drink it.
Right.
So the next ingredient is going to be a little bit of rye whiskey. So as you know, we have a lot of wood at the Barrow House, and it's farmhouse style. You see that it's a farmhouse, and people walk in, and the first thing they say is like bourbon. I want bourbon here. So we are really heavy on bourbon cocktails. So rye whiskey will be our go-to. I'm going to warm up a little bit of hot water because we're going to turn into a hot drink.
And the water, does it, obviously it's going to make it hot. Does it add to the flavor or anything, kind of dilute it a little bit?
So these are room temperature liquids that we're mixing. So the hot water will pretty much make the cocktail hot, and it will definitely make it taste a little different than room temperature or cold. So in order for us to get to the point where we're going to get a flavor profile, we will have to taste all the drinks or variations that we're doing. We have to try them hot, because when you get hot drinks, and if you use the same recipe for a cold drink, you get a totally different flavor. It could be overly sweet, overly citrusy.
Interesting. And this is, I know you guys have that really nice outdoor tent, so this is the perfect thing to get. If it's a little chilly out, you can get this one and it'll warm you right up.
Yeah. So after you build the drink on your glass, you throw the hot water, there's no need of shaking anything. And then you can just add your garnish, which is a dehydrated apple. And then if you feel a little flavor, you can throw some cinnamon, or you can grate some cinnamon in it, or maybe nutmeg. We'll keep it like that. We want to make sure that there are no allergy restrictions in it. That will be
I love it. I think it's the perfect autumn drink. I mean, what more can you ask for? You got the spice, you got the apple. I mean, it's warm. This is like the perfect drink to have this time of year.
When you get it really hot, you can definitely feel and smell all the aromas coming out of the spice apple. It's a really good drink.
Awesome. Nice. Now let's move on to your final cocktail that you're going to show us. What's the name, and tell us a little bit about it.
That's going to be the HATCHBACK. The HATCHBACK is a bourbon sour cocktail. Non-traditional sour. There's no way to worry about it. It has a little bit of citrus, a little bit of demerara syrup. It has an orange peel as we shake it. And it also has Maker's Mark cask strength. So it's a little bit higher proof bourbon. The guava tends to be a little bit on the thicker side, because the demerara could be a little more flavor addition to it. So we decided to go with a really good product, and Maker's Mark cask will be the one that will stand out even with those strong wintry flavors around. Okay,
nice.
So we're going to start with the twist.
A little bit. Is that lemon or orange?
Orange twist, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And this drink is I think it's a week old on the menu, and people are going really, really, really crazy about it. I would say this one, and the other one is the sweater weather. If I were you, I would come try it. Yeah. So we're gonna
add most popular.
Yeah, we use Perfect Puree for our puree, so Boy Rum. Either brand are really, really good and consistent. And we already have our demerara syrup in. So we're gonna add some. And then we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of the Maker's Mark cask. It's a little bit higher proof, so you want to keep people sober if they want to get a drink too. I'm gonna get my glassware, and the garnish is pretty much orange twist roll in a bamboo pick. It looks really good.
Wow. And this one you are going to shake up with some ice.
Yeah. So while we're talking on like amazing cocktails, consistency, flavors all around, a lot of training. We have our assistant manager Emmanuel, call him Primo. You can sneak in real quick.
Hi, Emmanuel.
He is the brain behind all the training and the new cocktails and all the R&D that we do. Amazing team member.
Yeah, I know you guys have such a strong team.
We're really proud of our training program, which is a little bit overwhelming for some people because we're really every single detail. I don't know if you saw me, but we're measuring every ingredient that we use.
Mm-hmm.
We try to have all our tools. So when it comes to shaking drinks, the first thing you think is like, well, you shake a cocktail to chill it. Yes, that's true, but there's something behind that too, or as important. And it's pretty much aeration. When you're shaking a cocktail, you want to shake it with energy. You want to shake it with a good timing and with a good flow. That way you start adding oxygen to it. You start aerating the cocktail. So it's coming from sleeping to you wake it up and those flavors come out. They all balance each other. They all get brighter and you can get a lot more aroma out of the cocktail. So shaking the cocktail is as important as creating the cocktail.
Right.
So what we're doing with the orange twist is we're just letting those orange notes and citrus orange notes out of it. And the oil is definitely gonna give that extra touch to it. I can smell it from here. Because when you shake it, there's a lot of oxygen going on. So you will get the aromas.
Super aromatic.
Yeah. This is
beautiful. Cheers. I love it. And I think, going back to you talking about the training, you can really tell, like I said, not only at the Barrow House, but, Cowan's Public and the Vanguard and everything. I mean, it's consistently great cocktails. So that training really, really comes in handy if I can give you a compliment on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's
awesome.
hard work, but the final product, when you see their faces, when you see people coming back, and, when we get names there, it's good to have some kind of sign that is telling us you guys are doing a great job. That makes us really proud.
It's all to our benefit. We can come, the viewers and myself, we can come and enjoy the cocktails. And I want to thank you so much, Eric, for coming on and show us how to make a couple of your cocktails. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. It was a fun happy hour, and I hope to see you around soon.
Oh, you will. Don't worry. You will definitely see me around. All right. Thanks for joining us, Eric.
Yeah, goodbye.
And thank you guys so much for watching as ever. You can make these cocktails at home, or like I said, just head on over to the Barrow House in Clifton and they'll make it for you. Until we meet again, cheers and have a really fun, safe Halloween.